Living a frugal lifestyle is really who I am. From tip to toe, I have always been a super frugal person. Here are 35 things that I do to live a frugal lifestyle. Hi everybody, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you don't know me, I am the owner of frozenpennies.com. I am a financial coach, and as a family, we are debt-free. So let's jump right into these 35 tips that I do to save me money and live a frugal lifestyle. Number one, I track my spending. I know this seems like a lot of work to go online every single day and check your bank account to see what you're spending money on, but it allows me to gauge whether or not I feel like I am overspending in specific areas. For example, Amazon. I can go through and look and see if I have reached my limit for Amazon purchases for the month without going over or without spending more money than I've allotted myself. I also am able to make sure that the payments that I have that are auto paying are actually coming out. There was a time long ago where I had my electric bill on auto pay, and for some reason there was a glitch and I wasn't paying attention and they ended up turning off our electricity. It was not fun. My husband was not happy. So since then, I have learned that you really need to keep track of it because things happen. Technology happens. Mistakes are made. Confirm that the payments you're auto paying are actually coming out of your account. Number two, something that I take pride in, get out of debt. Get out of debt. Do not owe anybody anything. Make sure that your lifestyle is reflective of the values that you hold dear. For us, debt is not a good idea. It's not a good idea anymore. It may have been a great idea back when we were first buying a house. But for us, our house is paid off. There's no reason to have any other debt. Number three, create a budget. Creating a budget allows me to have a plan for our money. It also allows me to make sure that every single thing that needs to be paid gets paid, and then all of the things that we truly want or value, there's actually a fund or savings or a bucket just for those things. We like to travel. We like to camp. We like to go places. We like to do things. And this budget allows us to put money aside so we can actually continue to do those things. Number four, meal plan. Now, my meal planning strategy is a little bit different these days. I am purchasing the things that are on sale and meal planning from the stuff that we already have. So if you haven't seen my stockpile video, I'm going to leave a link to that above so you can check it out. It'll show you the shelves that I have in the cellar and the freezers as well. What I tend to do now is find the things that are on sale, good deals in bulk, and fill up those spots in my home. Then I meal plan from what I actually have on hand. It's called reverse meal planning, and if you're looking for a video about reverse meal planning, let me know in the comments and I will more than happy make a video for you about that. Whatever your technique is for meal planning, as long as you're meal planning, that's a thumbs up. And number five, to kind of piggyback off of that, lower your food budget. Now, I know that with inflation, the price of everything is going up, and it's really not easy to do this. But try as much as you possibly can to lower that food budget. Making sure that lower priced cuts of meat are taking the place of higher priced cuts of meat, and you're cooking them in the Instant Pot or the crock pot instead. There are so many different ways to lower your food budget. Number six, turn down the hot water heater. Every little bit helps, and if you have your hot water on full blast and it's too hot to the touch, it's probably too high. If you can lower that down so when you get into the shower, it is the perfect temperature on full blast, then that's hot enough. Every little bit helps. Number 7, negotiate whatever bills you have. Now, if you are trying to get out of debt and you have credit card balances that you're trying to pay down, call the credit card company. Tell them what you've got going on. Ask them if they'll lower your interest rate. It's not going to hurt. It might just help. Try this with other things as well. For example, car insurance, cable internet bills, and even payments on things. Number 8, cook from scratch. Now, I like to call this semi-homemade because I don't necessarily cook strictly from scratch anymore. There were times when I did, not so much anymore. I like to use canned peas instead of fresh peas, or canned beans instead of soaking my own. I also like to use frozen potatoes. But cooking from scratch as much as possible is going to save you money. It might be cheaper to buy whole potatoes and dice them up for a casserole rather than buying frozen diced potatoes. However, buying frozen diced potatoes is still going to be cheaper than buying a Stouffer's casserole in a box. So really use your best judgment, know your personality, and know what works best for you. Still, try to do as much as possible or as much as you're comfortable with when it comes to cooking at home. Number 9, lower your housing costs. This is kind of a hard one if you're already in the middle of a payment each month. But consider, if you're going to rent or going to purchase, that you find something that's below the cost that the calculators are telling you you can afford. Some of those calculators will say that housing should be 25 to 30% of your monthly income. I say decrease that even more if you can. This might mean that you may have to relocate to a different part of the state or even country in order to find something that works for you. There are many places now where the cost of living is just way too high. Consider moving. We bought a house that was well below what the bank said we could afford on purpose. It was a small little house when we bought it, and over the last 22 years, we have renovated, remodeled, and kind of made it exactly what we wanted and we needed. And we could have afforded something more, but we decided that wasn't the right move for us. Our house has been paid off for almost 10 years. If you're willing to get a little bit extreme and you see that your house payment is a little bit more money than you'd like to spend, you could sell and buy a smaller house. Now, I know that's a big deal, and I know it's kind of extreme and maybe a huge undertaking for most of us. However, depending on how you feel about your finances, it's definitely an option. Number 10, purchase multi-use items. This means things like glass bowls, reusable things that you can use over again instead of plastic, mason jars, those Ziploc bags that are made out of silicone, things that you can use multiple times without throwing away. Instead of Ziploc bags, the silicone bags. Investing in those things will save you money over time. Number 11, cut unnecessary spending. But what is unnecessary spending? Determining whether it's necessary or not really stems from wants versus needs. This is a hard topic for people. When you're sitting down trying to figure out whether this is a want or a need, do I need to get my hair colored every month? Some women might say, yes, I need to. Those grays are coming in hard and fast. But do I need to get it blow dried every month when I get it colored? Probably not. Number 12, make a list. Whether you're grocery shopping or heading to Target or Home Depot, make a list. Always make a list of the things that you need so you don't end up with things that you don't need in your cart. I know for me, if I don't have a list, it's willy-nilly. It's freedom just throwing things in the cart, especially for places like Hobby Lobby and Target. Those are my weaknesses. Those are my fun places. I tend to make a list if I want to be strict about it and not deter from the list. Number 13, substitute with less expensive alternatives. I was going to say cheaper, but sometimes less expensive is the better option. For example, you could go to the thrift store and get a LL Bean jacket, which could be cheaper, but it's also a less expensive alternative than a brand new one because it's not cheaply made. So making sure you find alternatives to switch out the things that you would normally buy will lead you to a more frugal lifestyle. Number 14, one of my favorite, buy in bulk. The caveat here is you have to price compare. You have to decide whether the price per ounce is cheaper buying in bulk than it might be to buy the most singular item. If a 20-pound bag of pasta is not as expensive as 21-pound bags of pasta, then you found a deal. But if you can buy 21-pound bags of pasta for cheaper than Costco sells a 20-pound, then you're going to need to stick to the 1-pound bags. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. Number 15, make more money. I kind of like this one. We have side hustles in our house. My husband is an incredible artist, and he can take that art and turn it into side hustles. I also have side hustles. I have a social media that I manage for somebody else that brings me in a little extra money each month. The side hustle is a wonderful thing. It's great to be able to make more money to put toward your financial goals, whether it be a beach vacation or to pay off that mortgage early. Number 16, save your change. I'm a huge advocate of saving change. I have a jar upstairs. I have a jar downstairs next to the washer and dryer that we put all of our change in. Now we're actually saving our quarters because when we did our 1 month long camping road trip last winter, I found that we were spending more than I anticipated on laundry. That's one of those things that I really kind of forgot to budget. And it was a lot of money each week to spend on laundry. I'm not used to going to laundromats. I didn't realize how much it costs. So now I'm saving all of our quarters just for laundry for our next winter trip. Number 17, negotiate the costs of services. If you need something done around the house, many times, if you pay cash, you might get a discount. It happens often. Sometimes they say no, sometimes they say yes. For example, when we got tuxes for my stepson's wedding, we actually paid cash for the rentals on those tuxes and got a discount. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, but it's always worth asking. Number 18, you've probably heard this before, but because I do it, I have to mention it. Cut cable. We have a Roku smart TV, and there are so many options on there for free TV. Pluto and Freevee are two that we really like, but even subscriptions like Netflix is just so much cheaper than cable. Also consider if you have the right placement of your home, consider having an antenna. A lot of people don't want to give up cable because they don't want to miss out on local channels. Alternative to that, an antenna. Number 19, keep your savings separate. The best place to put your savings, whether it be saving for something special or your emergency fund, is in a separate account in a high yield savings account. This way, the money that you're saving for that special thing, you can make some extra money on it. It might be just a few dollars here and there, but a few dollars is more than you had before. Number 20, invest. I am a huge advocate of investing. I'm not a huge fan of investing in stocks because I really don't know that much about it. But we are investing in other things. For us, for me personally, my favorite is real estate. Investing in real estate and renting those out to have that rental income every month makes me happy. Whatever works for you, Even if it's just an automatic investment into your 401k every week when you get your paycheck, that would be the perfect way to invest. Start somewhere. Number 21, use cash. For years we did this. For years I was a huge advocate of the cash envelope system. This is the budgeting system that I owe to paying off our house and completely getting out of debt. This is a great way to manage your money. You can't spend what you don't have in the envelope, right? Number 22, use coupons. Now this is a little bit different than it used to be back in the day 10 years ago. Now you can use the coupons. Not only can you still use paper coupons, but they're not nearly as good as they used to be, but you can then piggyback store brand coupons on their app, as well as using apps like Ibotta and Fetch. So adding all of those together and kind of stacking those will give you a better deal. Number 23, cancel memberships that you are not using or that you are not using enough. So this means things like, for me personally, I just had Apple TV because I had to finish watching Ted Lasso. But now I've watched Ted Lasso twice, so I've decided to cancel Apple TV because there's nothing else on there that I want to watch. The same thing goes for other TV subscription memberships. I tend to cycle through those. Also, I forget that Amazon Prime is a membership. I have Amazon Prime. One of the other videos I said that I didn't have any memberships. I have Amazon Prime. I was lying or forgetful. I'm 50. I guess forgetful could be a thing, right? All of the memberships that you can find, you don't necessarily need Amazon Prime. If you're using it to watch TV or maybe for the music, then that's great. But the days of getting 2-day delivery is a little bit sketchy on Amazon Prime now. It doesn't always happen with it. So you could still get free shipping on $25 or more. Consider looking into that and seeing if it's really monetarily beneficial for you. Number 24, ask for discounts. If you see something that maybe is damaged or faded, bent, the package is ripped, ask for a discount. I know that Target will give you a discount if the package is opened. One time I was looking for some dishes for kids and their package was ripped. They were all there. They gave me a 25% discount at Target. The same thing goes for a piece of sheetrock that we needed to patch a hole that we had made in the wall for plumbing purposes. The corner was broken on the sheetrock. We didn't need the corner, so they gave it to us for $10. Number 25, shop generic. This could be anything from shampoo to foods to even flip-flops. If you pick up the lesser known national brand, you might find that it'll taste the same, feel the same, and look the same. It might even be better. Number 26, delete your debit card numbers off of your phone and your account. It is so dangerous for me to keep these saved on my phone and my account. So when I'm on Facebook and they've decided that I am the perfect person for this ad, and they're probably right, it's a little bit harder for me to purchase that if my numbers are not saved on my phone. So delete those numbers from your saved accounts on your phone. Don't let them have those. Don't let them save those. Make it a little bit of a challenge for you to shop. Number 27, keep a small food stockpile or a big food stockpile if you're like me. I like to have food on hand. We live about 20 to 25 minutes from a decently priced grocery store. So that means it's an hour-ish trip both ways for me to get groceries. We also live in a place that gets a lot of snow in the winter. So I like to make sure that I have enough food on hand. So if it does happen and we get snowed in for a week, then I know I have enough food to keep my family fed. It's also a benefit to being able to get things at a lower price. It doesn't mean I find cereal for $1 a box, I'm going to buy 10 boxes of cereal that my family probably won't even eat. It does mean that when I do find Honey Nut Cheerios on sale for $1 a box, I might buy 4. Number 28. This is something that I do often, probably about once a month. I unsubscribe to marketing emails. I do not need reminders of sales on things that I've purchased once or things that I've never purchased, just gone to the website and decided against it, which happens often. Unsubscribe from those marketing emails so you don't get the notifications that there's an ultimate once a year sale happening. Number 29, automate your savings. As well as automating your bills, automate your savings. Take a little bit of your money each paycheck or each month and have your bank transfer it to a savings account. Even better if you're able to put your auto deposit into 2 different accounts, one your main checking and a little bit into savings. So right off the bat, you never see the money and it goes directly into a savings account. It's one of the greatest ways that I have found in order to save money faster. Number 30, buy cheap food. This doesn't mean buying unhealthy food. It means buying cheap food. For example, it's summertime now. There's going to be roadside stands all over my neighborhood selling cucumbers and tomatoes for 50 cents or $1 a piece. It's the cheapest way I have found to buy fresh fruits and vegetables at roadside stands. Way cheaper than farmers markets around here and much cheaper than grocery stores. And probably even a little bit healthier. Make sure that you shop seasonally. Grapes right now are super expensive. I don't know what's going on with grapes. And they're not even that tasty. It is definitely not the season for grapes. I'll skip the grapes and go for something a little bit less expensive. Berries, for example. It's berry season. Grab the strawberries instead of the grapes. Number 31 is one of my very favorite things. Bartering for services. Here's an example. If you have a friend who's a seamstress and she loves your strawberry root bar pie, you need a dress hemmed. Barter. She hems your dress, you make her a pie. My stepson needed a new floor for his new house. He helped his construction friend for a day, and that construction friend came over and helped him put in his new flooring. Bartering for services is a fantastic way to save some money on things that need to be done. I touched on number 32 earlier. Automate your bills. Have them automatically paid each month. Now, some of these is a little bit difficult to do. My electric bill, of course, varies month to month. So here's what I did, just to make it a little bit easier for myself. I went on the budget plan for my electric bill, only to make it the exact same amount every single month. Then it automatically comes out of my account, the exact amount every month, the exact time. So I know that that's taken care of. I don't have to think about it. Also, sometimes if you auto pay like Verizon does, they will lower your payment a little bit each month if you are on auto pay. It's a win-win. Number 33, shop less often. One of the examples that I like to use for this is to grocery shop once a month. Now, it is a little bit of a challenge, and it is a little bit fun to maybe make it a game so you stay out of the stores as much as possible. Doing a spending freeze is another way to do this. But the less that you're in the stores, the less that you're online, the less money you are going to spend. If you have a list of things that you want, then you can determine once a month whether or not you actually need those things. Staying out of the stores and shopping less often will save you money. Number 34, cut up your credit cards. If you're carrying a balance on your credit cards and you're finding it a struggle to get those paid off every month, then maybe credit cards aren't the right payment option for you. you might want to just cut them up. And number 35, walk as much as possible instead of driving. It's going to benefit you in so many different ways. It's going to benefit you by saving money on gas. It's going to benefit your health. It's also going to benefit your state of mind. Your mental health will be refreshed from getting that sunshine and fresh air. Walking as much as possible is a very frugal hack. Those are my 35 things to do to live frugally. I hope you found some good tips in there and enjoyed a little bit of those anecdotes I threw out at you. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.